library, ghosts, barbecue, runaway, sleepover. Huh. Hmm. Fireflies.
Alright, tonight we're going to catch fireflies.
At this blunt declaration from your sister, you look up from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer, coming out on warm nights to dance through the sky. Tonight was particularly blammy. You knew there were bound to be tons of them around.
Oh, you are you?
Yeah. You rocked lightly from side to side in your seat, already excited for your after dinner activities. Catching fireflies was a great way to spend a summer evening. And you could already envision the little lightning bugs drifting through the darkening sky.
That's a good idea, Lizzie. Can we miss Oaks?
Shiloh tapped his fork against the table excitedly, his face lining up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to still be here. Like always, his mom had to bring him over really early in the morning before her work started. But normally she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let her. Damn! What the fuck is wrong with me? But normally she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your mom know she'd be late. You didn't hear why. Probably more work. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer, it would make Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guests over. That's why you were pretty sure she'll get your moms to agree.
It's already so dark out there.
Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes she could, slowly spooning mac and cheese into her mouth while you waited there for their response.
Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day.
See? Score one for Mommy. Your parents exchanged a look, then Mom eventually sighed and nodded back.
Yes!
Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in triumph, but waited until you finished cheering to say anything because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full.
Fine. Just make sure you stay on the hill behind our house with all the poppies, okay?
What the fuck? Poppies?
Duh, Mom. That's where most of them are.
The idea had only just been planted in your head, but already you could just picture all the glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from the bedtime stories Mommy read sometimes. All too quickly became a race to see who could finish their food first.
No choking at the dinner table now.
Oh!
That's right. If someone died, you'll have to cancel the firefly trip after all.
Mom said it like a joke, but you knew they were both telling you kids to slow down. Shiloh did immediately. When you glanced at Lily, you saw her still eating faster than she could.
Elizabeth.
No one is gonna die. Jeez.
A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could no doubt scold your sister.
I get it.
Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the door, pulling it open without even looking out the window to see who it was. See, that's how you let strangers in the house. Always look through the peephole.
Huh?
You shifted in your seat to try and get a glimpse of the unexpected guest.
Good evening, Coles.
Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Shiloh's flappy hat.
Coles!
You have no idea why he was here all of a sudden, but you suppose it wasn't worth worrying over. Instead, your eyes landed on Lizzie, who was looking at Cove like he had come here specifically to ruin all her plans. Then for a second, Cove said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with his face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving.
My dad told me to drop this off because I guess he borrowed it from you.
Cove took a familiar screwdriver from out of his large side pocket. Eyes now dropped to the floor.
We left ours back home when we moved.
Great, thanks. Bye.
Damn, that girl is rude.
Thank you. Here, why don't you come inside, Cynthia?
Lizzie crossed her arms and lifted her chin. Cove shrugged, and Mom stood there from the table, too.
I'll give your dad a call to let you know you got here alright.
Cove shuffled fully inside. Eyes remained on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him.
Hi, Cove.
Shiloh gave Cove a friendly smile while waving by, holding up his hand and opening and closing his fingers. Cove nodded in response. Cove, are you going to catch the fireflies with us? You could see Lizzie eyeing you for mentioning the excursion to an outsider, but she'll get over it. Don't be a bitch. This is my friend. We let your little fan hang out, eat our food, touch my stuff, and even bombard everything, and you can't accept my new friend here? My sister's a bitch. If Cove said no, you'll understand though. Catching fireflies wasn't something that everyone liked to do.
I want to see them. I never caught one before.
It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved in, and there must not have been any where he used to live.
We can't go until after dinner.
After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. Since this was very chill, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Cove stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal.
Have you eaten yet?
Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier.
What did you have?
It's
Damn. The clipped one-word answer seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of food on his plate. Her phone call with Cove's dad must have ended because my mom came back into the room. Cove,
Oh, your dad said you can stay for a little while if you like, but he's calling to come get you before it gets too much later.
sure.
Oh, fine. This would be so nice.
as you polished off the meal you hoped it would be too. The three of you all finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside.
Remember, don't stray too far.
It's fine, Mom.
Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie he was nearly stepping on her heel. Cove hesitated at the door.
Tommy?
After a moment, he did.
Bye, children.
The two of you were a good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh. By the time you walked outside, you pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get further and further away.
You're so slow, Miranda. We don't have all night.
You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace.
Let's go.
You gave his arm a pull, but immediately recoiled when he hissed. In your hurry, you accidentally grabbed his cast arm. You hadn't thought about that.
Sorry. It's fine. Just go by yourself.
You couldn't help but feel bad as he rubbed his arm and refused to look at you. But since it didn't seem like he wanted you there, you did what he said and hurried to the hills. Oh my god! I'm so dead ass right now! There were already a lot of fireflies out, glowing, bobbing about like boils on a wave. Lizzie was standing on top. Shiloh was spinning in her circle somewhere around the middle.
Where's Cove?
You looked behind you, wondering if you upset him enough to send him home. But a second later, he rounded the corner, looking around at all the fireflies with interest.
Wow.
Shiloh took a moment to come over and welcome to the both of you to the hill.
Hi, guys. It's really great out, huh? See me in the eye.
Yeah.
A firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea green head. Covering your mouth with a hand, Covering your mouth with a hand, the sound escaped you, and Cove looked at you in confusion.
What?
You gestured to his head, and he reached up, making a firefly dart away. Cove jumped and followed after the glow.
Oh look, Lucy has one. That's amazing.
Shiloh ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. You hummed as the group divided and conquered. Shifting your gaze to the dozen of other fireflies sailing around, the game was on. You had a band-aid on your thumb and you tried to be cautious of that. You have a band-aid on your palm and you tried to be cautious of that. You had 2 band-aids on your hand and you tried to be cautious of that. You were good at not getting cuts or scratches, so you weren't too worried about that. Yeah, I'm a real one. Spotting one close by, you approached it with an assassin-like stealth, crouching down to make yourself seem like less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you creeped up towards it, arms outstretched. You clutched your hands around the little glowing orb, carefully not to crush it. The fireflies landed on your palm, almost docile, and you turned down at your prize in delight. Aww. Its tiny legs tickled your skin and you giggled at the sensation. I remember when I was young and we would catch the fireflies. A firefly tried to get in like the bedding of my thumb and bit me. Ever since then, I ain't fuck with a firefly since then. Cove kept up with his own target, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clap his hand around the firefly.
Oh yeah.
Cove watched it vanish into the air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. Did nobody tell you to go break your hand? I told him about the firefly you had. You encouraged him to try again. You made a joke about what happened. Encourage him.
Look at the next one.
Cole didn't say anything. You thought he must be upset. He walked further up the hill to continue his hunt, and you let your own firefly flutter back into the air. That was fine. You had your own plans. You decided to collect more. You decided to sit and watch. Yeah. You quietly took a seat among the flowers. The others were jumping and dashing all about. You saw how many times they succeeded and failed, how Charlotte almost tripped a couple times. It was a dramatic show. Though around you it was calm, the lights of the stars and the fireflies surrounded you peacefully. It was a beautiful night. You laughed quietly to yourself as you watched the others, and Shiloh finally managed to catch a firefly between his small hands. His eyes lit up, and when he spread his fingers to take a peek at it, the bug escaped and flew off into the air.
Oh.
You watched as he pounced after it once more, but your eyes soon landed on Cove, who had failed to catch a firefly yet. Let me see, I'm gonna wait till see what happened. You watch as he crept up on an unsuspected bug, so slowly that for a moment you wonder if he was still moving at all. Then he raised his arm towards one of the little bobbling balls of light, closing it on it, ever so slowly.
No!
The crafty little critter had escaped his clutches at the last moment, drifting too high up for Cove to reach. While Cove returned to hunting fireflies, you settled for laying back against the soft grass, watching the poppies sway around you and the fireflies hovering against the vast sky.
Miranda, Cove, get up here. We're gonna have a race.
You shout. The shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie and Shiloh. You glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning to you with quick and hand gestures. If she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up to the incline you went. From the corner of your eyes, you saw Cove was coming as well. He didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued just by the idea of a race.
Hi.
Hi, Cove. You can't roll down the hill. You can hurt your arm again. You'll be the referee for the rest of us.
As Lizzie pointed this out, Cole froze in place. Oh, it was that kind of race. He frowned down at his cast. This was the second time he got in the way tonight. Aww.
What?
Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important, got it?
I guess.
The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else the referee, but it was already decided. Your sister's a bitch. I'll stay with him.
That's not how races work. We only need one referee.
You shrugging your shoulders, you refused to budge, and Lizzie let out a huff before throwing her hands in the air.
Really? Why? You don't have to. It's okay, I wanna watch.
You moved beside him on the top of the hill, even though Lizzie eyed you and made a face.
Fine, I'll be the winner, whether you join or not.
Your sister's a bitch. Like, I don't know, like, it's giving, like, oh, I'm so pretty, I'm gonna be a mean girl. Like, that's not cool. That's very much, like, an asshole thing to do. Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shiloh did the same. Cole stood slightly to the side to get a better vantage point, and you stood next to him.
Countdown.
Cole stood up a little straighter. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duties seriously.
3, 2, 1, go!
Lizzie and Shiloh took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling at high speed towards the bottom of this hill. You and Cole leaned forward to watch them go, eyes peeled for which of the two would reach the bottom, right? Oh, reach the bottom first. They were both neck and neck until both halfway down the hill, Lizzie started to veer off to the side, giving Shiloh a huge vantage. She obviously hadn't noticed a thing, and as soon as Shiloh reached the bottom of the hill, he jumped up excitedly and threw his hands in the air.
I won.
Almost immediately, he fell back onto the grass, still dizzy from his roll down the hill. Lizzie stumped out of the bush she had ended up in, splintering angrily and brushing leaves from the front of her dress.
Not bad, you got lucky. Let's do it again and see who wins for real.
Yes, it's time to come in.
No!
Yeah, loser, you lost. Aha, womp womp. That's what you get. You snickered, feeling grateful you haven't been a part of the mini debacle. You caught Cole's eyes and saw that he was doing the same. It had gotten late and was beginning to feel just a bit chilly as you made your way out of the hills. But the cold in the air hadn't dampened anyone's spirit. The four of you walked back home together side by side down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening, with each person trying to prove that they were the one who caught the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that you all had a good time, which, judging by the smiles on everyone's face, you did. Aww. So sweet. That's awesome. That's actually really sweet. Really telling. Nah, this is actually really dope. I like this. I might actually get the DLCs just to see how the story goes. Like, this is really chill. It seems like something I should play on stream. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video in there. Appreciate everyone that watched the video. Make sure you hit that like button, turn the notifications on if you're new. Sub, mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses, nothing but love. See y'all later. I'm out. Peace.